Well, Victor, welcome to the Johnny Fongo Show. This is our This is our very first interview on the podcast, and
it's a pleasure.
yes, so I'm excited to feature your story and what you'd like to talk about. First off, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your backstory, what you'd want us to know about your Reddit forum and what you're trying to achieve down there in Brazil.
Okay. My name is Victor, but people can find me on the internet as Stone F1. F1 is actually a slang for smoke a joint in Brazil. F1, smoke a joint, is a slang. So, Stone, because Stone, prof, because I'm a teacher. I'm a graphic design teacher too. And F1 is just a slang used in my nickname. I'm 24 years old and I live in Rio de Janeiro. I wanted to explain to the listeners, first of all, that we don't have access to the cannabis that you have. And the vast majority of we don't smoke liquid unless the person goes at home or buys with someone who does. But it's too expensive for an ordinary person to pay. It's dangerous to plant too, to grow your own cannabis, and we will talk about that. The war on drugs in Brazil is terrible. Many people get murdered because of this. So my blog, my channel, my subreddit, it's because we need help, we really need help. I want international what happens here. We can fight the legalization. We need to legalize. The war is terrible. It's destroying many families, and the favela suffers a lot.
Okay. One of my questions was, what are the penalties for cannabis possession in Brazil?
Yeah, it depends, actually. First of all, it all depends on the policeman who gets you carrying cannabis. If you're white, the chances of him just scolding you are high. If you're black, it can vary between a scold telling you to swallow all your marijuana, you need to eat the marijuana, and you can get beaten up, or if he decides to take you to a judge, it will all depend on the words of the police officer. If he determines a large amount of cannabis, you are labeled as a drug dealer. Otherwise, you can only carry a warning in your name, and your name is forever tagged in the category of drug user. It makes it difficult for you to get a new job if you need one. The entrepreneur can find your name and see you're a drug user. So it's a problem. Anyway, it's a problem. It's not good if they catch you. But that's it. If you're black, you can get into trouble. If you're white, you're probably not gonna get into trouble. Racism is a great thing around here. It affects our society in the worst ways possible. But the policeman can also pretend that you had more marijuana than you actually had. It all varies from your race and the policeman's nature, and the judge's nature too.
Okay. Sounds pretty hit and miss down there.
Yeah.
Is cannabis use very common among the population? Because here in America, there's it's very popular, both medically and recreationally. I mean, is it a popular thing to enjoy down there?
Brazilians smoke a lot of cannabis. Really, a lot. Many people smoke it, and it's a great culture around here, but it's all in secret, It's always in secret. Yeah. After smoking it, a new world opens up to you. You see that there are many people who smoke in secret, and it becomes difficult to walk on the street without looking for a potential user, just like you. You go walking and looking like, oh, this guy smokes weed. I know he smokes, so like that. And we should legalize it. Because if people are smoking and our climate is perfect for cultivating it, we would have a lot of advantage in this market. We could get rich in this market. but society is too conservative and thinks that cannabis is as bad as crack. Really, they think it's just like crack or cocaine or anything like that.
Yeah, we have a scheduling system in the States, and marijuana is still on Schedule 1, along with heroin, cocaine, all these other street drugs.
God.
And the laws are changing.
Thank God.
I don't know if you know how much about the legalization in the States, but we have 15 states now that are totally recreational legal, well over probably 35 to 38 states that have a medical program. So I mean, the barriers are falling down pretty quick here in the States, and New York State has just voted to legalize cannabis recreational, so that's a huge population center as well. So I mean, we're getting it legalized slowly but surely, and with the new administration, it looks like it's going to move along quicker for us. For you guys down there, is there any kind of medical marijuana program or talk of it? I've done some research on it. It looks like it's a very limited program with very low THC amounts on it. Can you tell me anything about that? Your medical issue, the program down there in Brazil, or if there is one.
There are some rare cases in which people can get access to medical marijuana. It's really rare cases, but we can see it happening around sometimes, but it's not that common. It should be more common. It's still taboo, It's still taboo. People still think the people who use medical marijuana is a drug addict and he will kill anyone in the streets because he needs money to buy weed, and it's like that. This is the normal culture around here. But they are slowly understanding they're wrong, It's about in 20 or 30 years, I can see it legalized. Not only medical marijuana, but also recreational marijuana. But I think in 10 years, maybe, we can get medical marijuana. But I may be too optimistic. On the internet, we do talk about it. On the internet only. On TV, it's a taboo. On the internet, there are YouTube channels or profiles on Instagram who talk about it. Normally, anonymous people, so they don't get into trouble, just like me. My blog is completely anonymous. My YouTube channel, anonymous. Because it can get us some trouble, in the judge or in the sections. The drug dealers can try to do something because it's their work, They earn a lot of money with it. Not all with it, it's more with cocaine, but still, weed is too popular. It will take a lot of money from them if it becomes illegal. And they know, and crime around here, drug dealers around here are not stupid people. It's an enterprise. They know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. They have many people working, and it's not just poor people. There are many rich people who also are working on it, trying to make it as popular, and that's it. They just want profit, and they don't care if people are dying because the war on drugs is so bad. They don't really care.
Okay. So there's no incentive to get changes made and get it above board and legalized and regulated. Because that's one of the nice things about when it does get legalized, especially either medical or recreational, everything is tested. All the product is tested, and it gives you a sense of, okay, this is good product, Plus, there's a huge selection that you can choose from. So, yeah, it's a shame that they can't change their ways and kind of see the forest for the trees, have a little vision there.
Yeah.
I've seen your post on Reddit. And the employment situation sounds pretty dire down there in the country. Is that a nationwide thing, or is it more a rural issue or an urban issue? I mean, what's your take on that?
It's nationwide. Our economy is totally broken. I'm going to be honest. Bolsonaro destroyed the country. Really, he destroyed the country. I've been saying since 2017. I've been talking with everyone. He's a complete idiot. He's a moron. He's a stupid. He don't know what he's doing. He's just like a child. He acts like a 5-year-old child. And he's fighting the vaccine. He's fighting the vaccine. He says vaccines don't work. And he don't want us to get vaccines. He just wants us to keep ignoring the virus, and as he keeps doing this shit, the economy keeps bleeding. People are getting food, dude. People are getting food. I got $60 only in the last 3 months. I can't leave $20. I work by myself as a graphic designer and a graphic designer teacher. And it's been hard for everyone. No one can get a job, or who has money won't spend it because they're too afraid of spending it. We don't know what's gonna happen around here. And nationwide, there are people starving. People are starving, and still the rich, they're getting richer, and the poor are getting poorer. And that's really sad. People are starving and they are drinking wine and eating good stuff. And Bolsonaro keeps doing this shit because he's rich too, He's rich too. He don't care about anyone.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough thing to deal with down there. Are there any opposition parties, anything like that are trying to oppose?
Oh, yeah, there are many. Actually, 70% of the country is against Bolsonaro. 7% is against Bolsonaro. But many people simply don't care in fighting him, They think, let him do what he needs to do, and in 2022 we'll take him off. But he's destroying everything. And people are too desperate to see. People are trying to fight the virus, or they're going to parties and ignoring the virus, just like Bolsonaro said. And the parties, the political parties, they're organized too, and they're trying to impeach him. There are about 80 impeachment process, but it's not fast because he spreads so the rich can get richer, and the rich are the ones who order the country, The poor can get nothing, and if the rich want Bolsonaro to keep governing, he will keep governing. The rich are the ones who play the cards,
Yes, that's true. It's a lot like that in the States as well. Can you kind of describe your personal cannabis story? I mean, how and when did you get to see the benefits of the plant? And just give me a little background story on your love affair with cannabis. I mean, I could go on for days about mine. I mean, I started as a teenager and whatnot, but I'd like to hear your story.
Yeah, in 2017, 4 years ago, an ex-girlfriend of mine introduced me to cannabis. And since then, I started smoking. We have to take into account that I've never seen a bud, just breed weed. So it's quite different. Even the effect is quite different from what everyone listening to us is used to. I often get depressed. It's sad. But in general, it helps me to look inside myself, to know myself better, and consequently to look better at the world, And my friends who also smoke it say that I went crazy because today my vision is completely different from what it was 4 years ago. I basically can detach my own ego and look at the outside world as if my opinions did not exist. And this ability is due to the use of cannabis that made me think so much about everything. I can see the world with different eyes when I smoke it, And I'm trying to deal with depression, but I understand that's not some cannabis effect. it's the country effect. I don't see a future, so I'm obviously getting depressed. There's no way out of it.
Oh, yeah, that sounds terrible. What everybody's going through down there, and so it seems like you're fairly new to cannabis, just 4 or 5 years into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, everybody has a different effect from it. I know. Some people it's not for. Other people it massively helps them. The things you were talking about of being introspective and seeing things in a different light, I think that's universal for a lot of people that do enjoy the plant, that's a very common thing, and I think that's why a lot of people do it, because it helps them kind of reset and get a handle on things. Just what are the prices down there that you guys pay for? You said you mainly just get brickweed. Is that what you said?
Yeah. The last time I bought it, on November, it's been some good months. I bought 25 grams of brickweed. I washed it, and I got 25 grams of brickweed for 200 hell. Approximately $35, okay? Approximately 25 grams, $35. Our minimum wage is about $187. So you have a better comparison. Converting 25 grams would be more expensive than a minimum wage. It's expensive, but it's less. I only bought it in November. I still have it.
Oh, okay. Huh. That's very interesting. Now, are there any indoor hydroponic gardens in private homes? Because in the states where it's legal, you can grow X amount of plants by law, and I think it's generally 12 per person on your private property. Is there anybody doing that just kind of on the side, illegally, just trying to, have some decent product? Is there anything going on like that?
There are many people who grow in their own homes, but in complete secret. So police won't get them in jail,
Sure.
A real secret. Their friends won't know it. It's a real secret. So they won't get imprisoned in the same cell as thieves, rapists, and murderers. Here, the prison system is terrible. So in a cell, there will be a drug user, a cannabis user, and a rapist, a murderer, and in a cell that should be 5 people, there are 30, or even more. There isn't enough space, and people being arrested because they grow their own plant and turning into a murderer or in a rapist or joining a faction, it's really, really sad. And everything depends on the nature of the judge, because I think there are people who get arrested and they can pay a fee too. They will pay a fee and they're free to go, but it's not that common. It's still not that common. But I really hope this will change in the next few years. At least while Bolsonaro is in the government, I don't think it will happen because he's a complete idiot, but I do think that we can change it in the next few years. You get in jail, you pay a fee, and you're free to go. I really think people should be able to at least a single plant, to have at least a single plant. And that's it. A single plant won't harm you. It won't harm anyone. But people still think that, the cannabis user is as bad as crack.
Yeah. We have the same thing here in the States. That's true, I believe. Unfortunately, the stigma is not going away as quickly as we'd like it. You'd think with Canada being legal, Uruguay, a country down there by you in South America, and other countries working with medical, you'd think the stigma would start to wane and just go away. And it still hasn't. I mean, the hypocrisy that I see here in the States is Washington, D.C., the area where our government is located, marijuana is legal. in that Washington D.C. is not even a state. It's just a district of Columbia is what they call it. And it's legal there, but it's not legal in the rest of the country. So, I mean, let's just make it, it's time. I mean, you're of the same opinion, I'm sure.
Yeah, so, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. It's here in South America. We have some people smoking it live on the YouTube, and some famous people. Some famous people are talking about marijuana since the 80s and the 90s, and their opinion is slowly changing. It's slowly changing. I can see people are starting to understand a bit more about it, and we often use that argument. If alcohol is legal, if cigarettes are legal, why isn't marijuana legal? That guy you like that, he smokes weed. Is he a bad person? We are often trying to make people think about this. That guy you like smokes weed, and he's still that guy you like. That's guy on the television, that's guy on YouTube channel. So weed isn't that bad as you think. It's just a plant. Maybe in 5 years we'll have enough people saying it should be legalized and forcing the government,
Yep, I think we're in total agreement there, my man. I really do. Next question for you: the corruption. I've done a little research on my own, and you've talked about it at length here. The corruption seems to be rampant. I mean, how long has it been that way in the country that you can remember?
Yeah, I would say that since the Portuguese arrived and made us a colony of them, we have never had a rest. Corruption is natural in Brazil. We have always been exploited. Brazilians have the ability to manage themselves if they need to have something to eat. This reflects on the politicians too. Many of us are trying to stay on the legal side. Actually, 90% of us are trying to stay on the legal side. But many succumb to illegal ways of doing money. Our drug dealers are a great example. I highly recommend everyone reading about it on my blog, because we can see how the people are really trying to be cool people and go by the rules, but it's hard, it's hard. People are too poor. Poverty here is dominating the country, and the rich getting richer and the poor getting even poorer. And people are trying to not be corrupt, but even the government, we can see every single day they are corrupt, but people are trying to survive, and everyone is tired, So the corruption ever since the Portuguese arrived is something too natural. It's natural. We think, okay, you can rob 100,000 real every month if you are willing to give us food and buy vaccines like Bolsonaro won't do. It's about Lula, the ex-president. He may be getting elected again, but he's known as a corrupt. Many people say he isn't a corrupt, but I think he is. But anything's better than Bolsonaro, because I don't care anymore if Lula is a corrupt, because at least he's trying to give people food. It's like that. It's okay if you're a Brazilian or a corrupt politician. All I want is you to give me food. It's like that. People are just trying to survive.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like it's been that way forever down there. we've already kind of touched on this question, but I'll just ask it again. In America, we have the two-party system with smaller fringe parties kind of on the outskirts trying to, fight for their piece of the pie. How is Brazil's political party systems? I mean, how is that structured? Is that like after a democratic thing, or is it? I'm kind of clueless as what's going on down there. So if you could kind of explain that some for me, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's a democratic, and we have actually 33 parties fighting for different causes. And I thought the whole world had this same system of several different parties. It's interesting to know that it's not like this, but we have many politicians on different sides talking about what they want and what their people want, what their voters want, and trying to decide what the government needs to do. And the president, like Bolsonaro, is trying to fight these guys who want to let their projects stand. It's actually justified. The president is trying to pass his law, while the other politicians elected, they're trying to block any other law which they don't like. And it's like they need to count the votes and see which side has their own benefit. We still have the left and the right, but it's still diverse, It's still diverse. It's too many parties. I think that we should have 3 or 4, and that's it. It's too many parties.
Yeah. Okay. Several years ago, another country in South America legalized nationwide, Uruguay. I think I referenced that a few minutes ago. Why do you think Brazil and other South American countries haven't also legalized and tried to reap the benefits? Because, again, comparing things to here in the States, we have these individual states now just legislating in. Like that's what New York has done. They're just making a law and saying, hey, it's legal now, go for it. And their main thing is getting the tax money. And I can tell you the taxes can be pretty obscene from these states. I know in Illinois, a state neighboring me, where Chicago is, it is a 35% tax on your purchase. So if you buy $100 worth of product, you're going to pay another $35 in tax to the state. Now, Michigan, that's a 16% tax. So, I mean, that's half of that. So you see a lot of people, leaning towards going to Michigan if you're in a state that does not have it. And that's a very common thing now. There's so many states losing money to neighboring states that have it. They'll go over there and give them their money and bring the product back across state lines, and nobody's the wiser.
That's interesting. In Brazil, we don't even talk about it, People don't even seem to understand that Uruguay exists. That's true. People don't even seem to understand it. Our country is very conservative. The churches rule everything. If it doesn't go according to what the church wants, it won't happen. The rich manipulate the poor to act according to their interests. And the church is the greatest form of manipulation in the country. I'm a Christian myself, but I'm a spiritist. It's like Christianity updated in the present day, and seeing the way they treat Christ makes me sick. They say, Jesus Christ won't want marijuana to be legalized. Oh, we can't be legalized. It will make Jesus sad. Oh, come on, It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Here, people feel disgusted by marijuana, and treat potheads as if they were a thief. The thing is controversial and always generates discussion. People are always discussing it, and they really think that someone who smokes weed will try to rob them on the streets or kill someone on the streets because they need marijuana. They are too addicted to do anything but to smoke it. They don't even understand that there are many people around them that they don't even know that smoke it, but they smoke. There are people in my family who smoke, and I know and the whole family won't know, and they will keep talking about how potheads are something so bad to society. You know, it's first class. People don't understand the cannabis. They think the cannabis is like that prick they can see on the television. That prick they see on the television and that keeps getting people in jail. And people see on the television what the television wants them to see. So if the television wants to show a prick weed and say, oh, this is weed, this is cannabis, you should not legalize it because it will kill your family, people will believe it. And it's like that around here. People won't understand what cannabis is. Yesterday, I was showing my friend what cannabis really is. I sent her pictures. She has never even saw it. She said, oh, it's so beautiful. I thought it was just that brick. I said, yeah, everyone thinks it's just that brick. You know? It's like that around here. People,
yeah, I understand. So your Reddit forum that you're the moderator of, I take it as you're trying to open people's eyes. Is that kind of the goal of what you're trying to do? Can you explain further of that vision that you have?
Yeah. Since we have so many problems around here, people are not even trying to understand what's going around them, you know. They're just trying to get some money and food and trying to get a living. That's it. So if people in Brazil are not paying attention to what's happening around here, I'm trying to show the world, trying to get international attention from all around the world to what's happening around here. My blog is a call for help, actually. It's a call for help. It's like, look what's happening around here and spread this word, spread to the whole world what's happening around here, so people will start talk about it, so people will try to legalize it alongside us. We are trying to legalize it. The ones that smoke it are trying to legalize it. We have many groups into Telegram and WhatsApp and Instagram. There are many Instagram profiles. You can go on Instagram and type weed, and maconha in Brazil. We say weed is maconha in Brazil. And you can type maconha and you will see a lot of profiles. And we are all trying to fight this thing. We are saying that it needs to be legalized, but people won't care. People won't care. But if international attention, if people around the world set their eyes on us, we will legalize it as soon as possible, because Brazil works like that too. Brazil works like, oh, this country wants us to do it. Let's do it, you know? It's like that. And my objective with the blog is to spread this word. And also, I'm trying to get a living out of this blog too, because I can't keep living like $60 in 3 months, you know? Since Bolsonaro destroyed the economy, I need some living. And I'm trying to sell some designs on my blog too. So I want to help people around the world to get their own design. I sell any design any people want. People can send me a message and say, oh, I want something like this. And send me a picture, do something with this picture, and I'll do it. I'm a Photoshop user. Expert Photoshop user. So I can also put your own art, the person art, the customer art, on Redbubble, and they can also buy a product with their own art on Redbubble. And that's it. I'm trying to spread this word and trying to get a living out of the blog too.
Great. Do you have like a website or somewhere where they can see your work and see what you do? Is there any way to...
Yeah. I have a Redbubble account. They can find me as Sonic Press 1 on Redbubble too. But if anyone wants to see my work, I would highly recommend them going to my Instagram. It's on the screen, actually. It's on Instagram. And you can find it on cannabisinbrazil.blogspot.com too. You can find it and go to any blog post. There will be a Redbubble link there. And if anyone wants any design, they can also message me on Instagram or on Twitter that's no problem. I will see it. And if people want to join my sub on the Reddit, they can also get a coupon of discount. They can also order an art with a Reddit coupon. Sometimes post it there. So people can get their art, help Brazil, and help me too.
Okay, great. That's awesome. Well, I've taken about 30 minutes of your time, and I sincerely appreciate your take on things done in Brazil. And I hope this collaboration of ours will help you in getting your word out to the cannabis. I definitely will get it out to my listeners. I should probably have this edited and up on my streaming site probably by this evening, I would think. And I will let you know. I'll give you a little shout out through Reddit and let you know when it's up and ready to look at. In closing, Victor, is there anything else you'd like to say this afternoon?
I want to say thank you for your attention. Thank you for your space, for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure. It's my first interview. I'm really, really happy in doing this interview. I wish you well. I wish your podcast will have many listeners. I think it will grow. It's just a matter of time. Cannabis has many, many people around the world trying to understand better of it. And if you have a podcast about cannabis, I'm sure you will have a lot of success. And you can message me anytime. We can do it again. I can participate. I can help you to run ads about it. I work with it. And I really hope the future will be bright for both of us. And for everyone listening to us too. I want to thank everyone who are listening to me too. And please join my sub. Take a look at my blog. And that's it. May God bless us all.
Well, thank you very much, Victor. Those are very kind words, and I also appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, and I appreciate you listening to my podcast. I'm about a month into the production of it. I'm up to like 21 episodes now. I'm just trying to get the word out, largely about cannabis stocks, as you know, if you've listened to the podcast, with business here in the States and actually globally. And one thing you alluded to, cannabis is a global thing now. It used to be very localized in many different countries, but it's now a very global thing. And the opportunity that you've given me to speak with you and get your side of the story is amazing. And I never really thought I'd kind of get to that far, especially a month into the production. And so I appreciate, once again, taking the time to sit with me and chat. And you're always welcome on the Johnny Fongo Show anytime you would like to discuss anything in particular. Again, thank you, Victor. Have a lovely day.
Thanks, you too. Have a lovely day.
I will let you know. I will let you know when I get all this up and it's posted. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Johnny. Take care.
Bye-bye. And that was Victor from Oak Victor, Cannabis in Brazil, Reddit moderator. Very interesting interview there. And like I said, it was pretty much my first one on this podcast. And it's very, very interesting to hear his take on what things are like in Brazil.